Hi everybody, Neon here of course. We are at the
Kittatinny Visitor Center.
About to spend about 100 miles hiking a section of the AT in New Jersey and into New York. I am with my hiking buddies here. We got
I'm White Lightning and I live in New Jersey.
I'm Total Wreck from Georgia.
One more member of the trip,
Oh, there she is.
Minnie Pearl, and she'll be guiding us along the way.
Yep, hopefully she'll
You can follow Minnie Pearl on fox.on.the.trail.mp on Instagram.
It's a lot of dots. Sunfish Pond. That's a good place for snakes. You know, I thought that stuff was supposed to go under the rock. Somebody's been eating grass. This is the Kittatinny Ridge. And out there is New Jersey.
Again. They said that this was... Fill up my jar, let you go.
Well, it is about 7:30 and I am already in my tent. We only hiked about 12 miles today. I was so tired I barely was able to eat, and figured the best place for me was laying down. Well, it's the morning of day 2 and I'm going to get some water from this spring over here. Apparently this is called the Fountain of Youth Spring, which I could use right now. I don't know if you can see that, but that looks like a turtle crossing the trail. Got kind of a funny pattern on it. Look at that, it's a boxer turtle. Hey, what are you doing up there?
This is where the trail goes, guys. We gotta climb the rocks.
Come on. I'm on top of the world. I made it. Yeah.
We are at Brink Shelter. It is about 3:15 and we've hiked about 11.5 miles today. We've got our tent set up. Just gonna chill out here. Well, it's not really able to chill. It's over 80 degrees, but gonna hang out.
Well, obviously I've not seen it.
It's day 3 and it's about 5:45. Been up about 45 minutes. Had some coffee. About to eat a couple of the granola bars. Get on the trail. It's going to be a 15-mile hike today, a little over 15. Only 2 water sources. One of them's supposed to be okay, and the other one is not so okay. It's going to be a long, hot day. That's why we're getting an early start.
heavy venison nights. That's why you get you. And there was a lot.
Wow, what a day. I think we hiked about 16 and a half miles. The shelter was a little ways off the trail, almost a half a mile. Didn't anticipate that there at the end. But it is 7:30 and I am in my tent and I am going to go to bed to sleep. Good morning. It's day 4. This is our halfway point today. I woke up a little before 5 o'clock and I've started my breakfast. I'll show you what I'm eating today. There's a bottle of cold coffee. That is, or was, a honey bun. A bag of jerky and mango and macadamia nuts that I'm well on my way into, and a Cliff Bar. That's my breakfast. Breakfast number 2. I've got these snacks. These are some Sour Patch Skittles, some kind of nut bar, about 200 calories in that crunchy thing. For lunch, I've got tortillas and Slim Jims, trail mix, and a couple of bars for an afternoon snack. Privie's there. Got a metal box to put our food bags in at night so we didn't have to haul them up into a tree. And our tents were down there in the woods. Trail goes that way, about 1/10 of a mile to the water, and then another 4/10 of a mile back to the trail. It's going to be a 17-mile day today, plus the half a mile to get out of here, and whatever miles are associated with us getting lost on the trail. It'll be a long day, probably one of the longest I've ever hiked with a backpack. Well, I've been walking about an hour and thought I'd share this beautiful view with you this morning. Of course, it's a little bit foggy, kind of socked in with clouds. Last time I checked, the forecast for today included rain. Came out of the woods right there. Looks like White Lightning thinks that holding pond's a good place to get some water. I had to walk across that road and through this little field, and the Appalachian Trail goes into the woods. Hike on. Berries are almost ready. Been hiking about 2 hours. It's about 8:30. It's time for my snack. Well, I found a tower to climb. And you can see a little ways into the distance. And right there is a monolith, and I reckon that's High Point, the highest point in New Jersey. So I'm glad I got to see that, because I am not going to hike up there.
The door came down and formed. Ugh! Man, this thing is old.
Yep. But I walked around it right there.
There's hundreds of these on the trail.
Nary a cow. I am standing next to a big old tree. It's really steep. I reckon this might be Unionville.
I bet it is.
I think it says Junction 73.
Movement for a flatter Appalachian trail.
MoFat.
No fact.
Were you able to get your head under it?
Nah,
This water's cold.
this water's very cold.
How did you pour it on your body?
Man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, that's enough.
Sweet mystery of life.
We are at Pochuck Mountain Shelter. And I am going to sleep in the shelter tonight because there is rain coming, according to the internet. Hold that up so we can see. Yeah, see that green blob?
Oh yeah.
It's 7:15. We ate dinner down at that spigot and hiked close to a half a mile up the hill.
Yeah.
Just enough to get sweaty again after taking a shower bath, sponge.
Your first shower, I have to admit, your first.
My first opportunity to remove some of the hiker skunk since we've been here. Good night. Good morning. Hiking out of camp up a little hill this morning, of course. Ended up pitching my tent in the dark last night. Couldn't sleep in the shelter because the mosquitoes were so bad. And then it rained. The rain was the motivation for sleeping in the shelter to start with. And these mosquitoes are terrible. My pack is light because we are walking into a town today, to a post office, where our resupply for the second half of the trip should be awaiting. And we are also going to meet my friend Shoelace, who's driven down from Maine to hike one day with us, one night. So that'll be good to catch up with him, see what he's been doing since March when we did the Foothills Trail Piedmont 100. Well, camera lens is probably not good enough. Right there is the monument on top of High Point, which is where we were yesterday. And so I'd say we hiked a fur piece. Well, they had our food. We have a new hiking buddy. And a place to dry everything out. And everybody else has gotten something to eat from the Pochuck Valley Farmers Market. So I am going to see if I can get a sandwich. Engineering. Nice concrete anchors with the sports. The nice suspension bridge. That's a pretty substantial deck for a suspension bridge, isn't it? We're going over it. It's called Stairway to Heaven. What is it? I don't know. It's some kind of old rusty stuff.
It's an old baler.
An old baler. You can see those tines right there. And this is the beginning. This view's a little side hike off of the AT. Somebody said I should come look at it. Nice.
Trail right there. That's a place where you cannot touch dirt. I met a ridge runner. The ridge runner is cutting branches.
Let's see if there's any bees in here. Trash. That is one black rock. Not like the others. This is the Wawayanda shelter. Little wreck is over there. White Lightning's got his hammock right there. And there is my little green tent. I have this delicious water, and I put about 3 cups in that pot. And that's going to be enough for a cup of coffee and my dinner. Alcohol fuel, about 1 ounce. That's going to go in the little stove over here. Like that, up. Put on the pot screen.
My legs don't feel like it, tell you what. I can feel, I'm not, I can run, I can feel.
So we shoelace up and moving or what?
Yeah.
Morning, good. How are you?
Fine as frog's hair. Ducks. How does this work?
I'm on the line between New York and New Jersey. Right now I'm in New York. Now I'm in New Jersey.
Do you feel better?
Now I'm back in New York. You know, I feel about the same either way.
Well, you look better when you're in New York because you're a little bit farther away.
Thank you. It's a little higher rock, so I feel taller.
Yeah. This here is the highest point of the Appalachian Trail in the state of New York. I reckon that's what New York looks like. Climbing?
No other way.
More climbing. How convenient.
It's a lot more intimidating coming down.
That is some engineering right there. That's just rebar. Wonder how deep they drilled those holes. Oh, we've been climbing over these boulders. Up and down for about 45 minutes. No end in sight, but I was just looking at them and they're pretty cool. There's like an aggregate quartz, well maybe it's not aggregated, it's a bunch of quartz crystals inside the granite. Round ones and there's long veins of them. And little green lichens that look like they got leaves. Big spots of it. Yeah, pretty cool when you get up close. Over here there's a whole patch of it. I thought it was more like a thin coating. Well, I guess it is, but it's really a whole bunch of teeny tiny little plants. This is what New York has done to us. There's a white blaze over there. Like I said, walking along this rock ridge, both directions, and there's a perfectly good forest floor 50 feet from me. Come on, New York. Well, this is the narrowest ridge line I've hiked on since the knife edge in Maine. Again, Perfectly good forest floor right there. Well, it is about 6:30.
I believe.
And we've been here about 30 minutes at our campsite for the night. It started to rain, so I quick threw up my tent. Gonna cook dinner here in my vestibule and I guess just hang out until I feel tired, and then I'll lay down, hang out some more.
Look at that boil, man. That is a purty boil.
Look at that. Pork and beans, butternut squash, couscous. I can eat that. Extra olive oil too. I would eat this again. Pork and beans for dessert. Good morning. I am drinking hot coffee this morning. It is day 7 and we're gonna get off the trail today. We hiked 86 miles and I hiked New Jersey and New York. We've had a couple of setbacks, so we're gonna hike over to a road and try to get an Uber to come get us somewhere here in the mountains of New York. There's a hole in the tree.
There's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, dear Liza. Technology.
All right, that ends the adventure. We're at the car at Bear Mountain State Park. Everybody survived, including Minnie Pearl here. So anything you want to say about the trip?
Well, I have a few things to share, aside from the wonderful companionship I got from my guide, Minnie Pearl. Fox on the Trail, by the way, on Instagram. But let's see, I survived 2 wasp stings, a bumblebee sting on my neck. I slipped falling on a wet rock, a big boulder down to collect water at a creek. I slipped, landed on my elbow, and that jammed up into my shoulder. And then lastly, I felt a twinge in my knee that over time developed into excruciating pain. And that's one of the reasons we're here right now at this time.
My knee.
Who's next?
So,
My knee.
just one question. Would you do it again?
Yeah. Why not?
I got a blister and a little bit of poison ivy. That was it. Beautiful hike. New Jersey, why'd you steal all the rocks from Pennsylvania? I'll never understand that. Had a great time though. Good people.
Yeah. You know, there was some really pretty views, but they were really hard to get to.
Ooh, yeah.
And but we made 86 miles. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
86 miles.
And then another 18 in the Uber. So that's 100 miles. So I reckon we're gonna head on back home. See you on the trails.
Bye. Oh, he's videotaping it.
Yeah. And the cook. Thank you.
You're welcome.